This is a bag full of rice weighing 5 kg. Until 1 month ago, I've been carrying more than 5 kg of weight everywhere with me. Now it's gone. But I never miss it because I really feel lighter than ever. So if insulin resistance is going to be a problem, spiraling down your healthy lifestyle in a negative way, healing insulin resistance will give you cascades of health benefits, and one that is not to be overlooked is that of the mental health. Now, I feel for myself motivated to do more walking in the nature, which helps me to stabilize my stress level. I also like to update on my progress in my ketogenic diet so far. I'm into 28th day. So let's dive straight into the chart. So I've been struggling as my weight has kind of plateaued in mid 71 kg, but I think I broke that barrier in the last 2 days. Though I've been in low carbs, I wasn't strictly doing keto like 30 grams or less of carbs because of hidden carbs, and sometimes I needed to do research and was compelled to eat a set course, in which case I try my best to set aside carbs. So those events spiked up my insulin and slowed down fat burning. I'll explain a bit more on mechanisms in some of charts I made. The first one is a chart of insulin level of a person eating 3 normal meals a day with a combination of carbs, proteins and fats. And this is probably a typical carb-rich diet. The chart starts with eating of dinner at evening, say around 6 or 7 p.m. at number 1 hour at the bottom. So we see an immediate spike in insulin in its response to lower the blood sugar level. And insulin level eventually falls to a low level with no food intakes while sleeping. We don't eat while sleeping, and we call this period a fasted state. And obviously nobody will eat while sleeping, but when we wake up, it's a custom in many societies to eat meal in the morning, and such action literally breaks the fast. Thus the word breakfast was formed in the modern English vocabulary. In Japanese, the corresponding word is literally morning meal, and the Chinese, for that matter, is early meal. So don't correct me if I say that I'm eating breakfast during supper time. But the point is, fasting is a natural thing that we do every day, and it's so important to prolong that period of fasted state, which is a low insulin state, to heal insulin resistance. Once we address that root problem, we become healthier and the weight goes down to reflect a healthy condition. There's an added bonus when we are in fasted state. We burn fat. If the level of insulin is high, it will be very difficult to burn fat because insulin is a powerful anabolic hormone. It stores energy, nutrients, and all kinds of stuff into our cells, and it does it so well that it even stores excess energy in the form of fats. Now I drew a solid line in the chart to show that when insulin falls to that arbitrary level, that's the time that the fat burning can mostly happen. Some can get away with eating anything, and we envy these people. It could be genetic things, or they live in a boot camp 6 days a week. Now, I think 3 normal meals a day worked well for persons living a few decades ago, but our lifestyle has changed dramatically since then. We have more desk works, more fast food, usually consisting of high carbs and sugar, to cater to our busy lifestyle and so on. Well, I read that the COVID situation turned some people into lazy people, and I know I'm not the exception. But it's not easy for people to give up 3 meals a day habit, let alone those taking 6 meals a day because they eat snacks in between. And I show you the next chart with 6 meals a day. And this is a really vicious cycle. The only time the insulin level comes down is while sleeping, but it may not come down to an ideal level. Fair bet is that this person already has insulin resistance from the fact that the person habitually eats 6 meals or simply succumbing to irresistible power of fluctuating insulin conditions. Only few people can psych their way out, those gifted with strong willpower. But to be honest, I'm not in that league. Well, let's pause for a moment and analyze why there are many fluctuations. As soon as the person wakes up in the morning, the person is hungry, and typical diet high in carbs will make the blood sugar to shoot through the roof. The pancreas pumps out insulin to lower the blood sugar level. And since the person is insulin resistant, the blood sugar doesn't come down smoothly. The pancreas pumps out more insulin. But then the sheer mass volume of insulin will crush the blood sugar level into hypoglycemia, meaning low blood sugar. So the body detects it as a threat and responds by secreting a number of hormones to make the person hungry so that he or she eats to elevate the blood sugar level. And this cycle goes on multiple times a day, 24/7. Sounds familiar? Well, I was there. But note that there's a very limited window to burn fat as well. The effect is a tiny drop in the bucket. So how can he or she get out of that roller coaster life that is insulin-wise? Well, how about not spiking that insulin so much in the first place by avoiding carbs? So the ketogenic diet, in my opinion, is scientific with its approach to prevent insulin spikes and stabilizing it. There are myriads of benefits, but with weight loss in focus, we need first to remember heal the insulin resistance. Well, how about for second, stabilizing insulin level so that we do not get crazy hungry, and 3, burn more fat deposit in our body, because we can burn fat effectively when our insulin level is low. So if you want to try out, there are tons of information out there. But don't be put off with lots of information on fasting. It is quite easy to transition to 2 meals a day and even 1 meal a day. The chart here is a model of 2 meals a day with 18 hours of fasting and 2 meals in a 4 hours window, so-called 18-4 model. 1 meal a day, or OMAD, is for those who want to push when they have high motivation. And they are like 40 to 72 hours fasting, which not only shed weights, but many do for longevity reasons. I've been practicing ketogenic diets and most of the time with low carbs, and I cycle between them for the last 5 years. I read a number of books and keep updated with very good source of information. While insulin resistance applies to many, there may be other issues in dealing with too much or too little weight. For example, my wife has been suffering from an autoimmune condition for a number of years. In the last couple of years, her weight came down, and up till 7 months ago, her weight was like 36 kg. That's about 80 pounds, and we didn't like it. So, the thing is, she just couldn't increase the weight. Around the same time, we found a specialist doctor on autoimmune condition, and while the weight was one concern, the doctor wanted to lower her interleukin-6, IL-6 level, because her level was so high. So she started taking prescriptions for a year, and the last few prescription did well to dramatically decrease IL-6 level. Since then, her weight came back to the point where I think she can now start low carb diet. The point is, there are many other underlying issues. Having said that, ketogenic diets are generally anti-inflammatory. I mentioned about plateauing of my weight, and yes, there were some cheatings, but then I started walking, and I also look into my quality of sleep. And for those suffering from sleep issues, you can search for sleep apnea and MCT oil. The body converts MCT oil into ketones. And I tried taking MCT oil 3 times, and I found that when I took MCT oils before bedtime, my quality of sleep improved. So a strategy for a weight loss, there's no one fit all approach, but we can take a holistic approach. Well, thank you for watching, and in the next video I want to finally finish this project, but I will show you how to cook low carb kimbap, that is Korean style raw rice, that even fooled my daughters into thinking that it was a real rice roll. Well, see you towards the south of 70 kg, because if June can do it, so can you.